All right, this is going to be our most common one. It is going to be just 2 bags of 2.5 over like 10 hours. I would say probably 90% of the time this is the one that we do. So you end up putting your 2.5 bag on your warmer, your second 2.5 bag on your second shelf. Your drain bag you can put on your second shelf or your third shelf. Second shelf will make it easier to drain and straight into the toilet once you are done with your dialysis for the day. You're going to open up your cassette drawer. You're going to pop your cassette in there. Be very careful. It is possible to put your thumb through it. You're just going to hit all the corners. Make sure it's completely in. You're going to make sure that none of these are kinked. When you shut the door, it will cause you immense problems if they are. I went ahead and I shut the door. You're going to hang your cassette on those little tabs. And then I go ahead and just close all my clamps. For the most part, usually you work your way from this direction over. There is some, if when you have a third bag, it is a little bit different. So I'm going to take this one here. This one goes to my drain bag. I ended up popping my tops, screwing it in, making sure this was clamped. Your next one is going to be your red. Red always goes to heat, so it's going to go to your heater bag. After I popped my top, I'm going to open my clamp for that. I'm going to make sure my phalanges is open. Your next one, this one's going to go to your secondary bag, your pull bag, which is on your second shelf. I will pop the top and plug it in. I screwed it in after I popped the top, break my phalanges, and make sure my clamp is open. This here is if you have a fourth bag, which we don't. This here with the blue clamp is if you have a third bag, which we don't. And this one here is the one that always goes to the patient. So that is the actual hooking up of the bags. We're going to turn the machine on. At this point, I would be at the patient's bedside because this does not have a battery backup. For the sake of this video, I'm going to end up doing this twice, but it always gives you an activation code where there is not one. Honestly, I never can remember how to get rid of it. So if you hit these a couple times, you'll get to standard mode. You're going to hit go start. Now we kind of do this backwards. It says load the cassette. We've already loaded the cassette. So you're going to hit go. It will self-test. This takes a few minutes. Then it's going to say open connect bags, which I've already connected the bags, and open the clamps. So this is where I go back and I check all my phalanges, I check all my clamps and make sure they're all open and ready to go. All of my clamps are open. So now it's going to be priming. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes to prime. If everything is set right, it should be pretty easy. The one thing that I did not do on him, he has no last fill. And, oh, I just remembered this machine is backwards. Huh. All right, hang on a second. So this actual machine needs to be fixed. It is backwards. Normally, your priming is last. So hang on a second. Yeah, actually, this is probably not the best machine to try and teach on. I'm going to try and do this anyway. So I stopped it from priming. You're going to get this therapy. It always says this. You're going to hit, okay. Okay, your total volume, that's where your math problems comes into play. His is 5 exchanges, 2 liters per exchange. 5 times 2 is 10,000. His total volume is going to be 10,000. And hit that button here. I'm not going to change it. I'm going to go down. His therapy time is 10 hours. Normally you would hit this button till it starts to blink and you would go up and change your time. His is already set at 10 hours. So I'm going to hit this button here. I'm going to go down. His fill volume, normally you would hit this button and increase it to whatever his fill volume is, which is the 2 liters. His is already set. Like I said, this machine is not working quite like it should. So it's holding on to a program when it doesn't normally hold on to a program. So I don't have to change this. Normally if I wanted to change it, I'd hit my up button. I'd hit this one here. I'd go down. He has no last fill, so it's going to be 0. Sometimes this will show up as 1400 as an automatic. Make your life easier. If he does not have a last fill, you would change it to 0. It'll save you time on the actual exchanges, and if you don't change it and there's no last fill, it's going to give you an error code before his first fill when it tries to drain them. I'm going to hit this button here. This is going to give you his weight. It's always in kilograms. You're going to go down. Normally this would show up as 1, and I would hit this and to change the weight from 1, clear up. His weight is 66. I'm going to hit this. I'm going to go down, and essentially it's done. I would normally, that is everything we put in. It automatically is going to calculate the number of exchanges or cycles. His is 5. Like I said, depending on the fluids and the exchange time, it will tell you how many cycles. And now it's going to prime. Like I said before, it takes 10 to 15 minutes in order to prime. During this time, what I normally do is do my dressing change on the patient and get them ready to be hooked up. That's essentially the end of this video. Like I said, the only problem with this particular machine is it's not supposed to hold on to a prior program, and it does, and that's why it starts with priming instead of letting you type in your prescription and then priming at the end. Hopefully this is still helpful despite that little fluke on this machine.